train is running.
And I'll say Evan.
That's good. You're score, but I don't have to be.
It's a win.
All right, hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Fins Talk. Today, I'm your host, Bobby Finsock. That right there is the one and only Fish Tank Hank. Hank, how the heck are you, brother?
Fins up, bro. You know, it's another day in Dolphins land. I was a little taken back by the draft. I've had a little while to munch on that and, you know, think about that a little more. So that, and I always like what we do with our undrafted free agents too.
Yes.
So, and that's where Greer can sometimes get some people, but they're still not blue chip players. They're still backup players usually. They're not usually starters, to be honest. You know, sometimes you'll get a gem, but most of the time it's going to be in a backup role that he gets. But there are some players that he picks up that, you know, we picked up quite a few. So I think there's going to be some interest in a few of them. And I have faith. What do you think?
Yeah, no, so I'm with you. So, you know, just recapping, you know, first off, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Smash that like and subscribe button if it's just your first time. So, yeah, I mean, it's what? Last Thursday, not this past Thursday, the Thursday before that, the draft started. We had great coverage. You and I were on every day. A little longer on Saturday. The Dolphins had their first pick. They didn't trade up. They didn't trade down. They stayed exactly at all the picks. They stayed at 51. You know, everyone saw, you know, we were surprised. Oh, my goodness. Darnell Washington on the board. Oh, my goodness. DeJuan Jones was still on the board from all these guys. And you know, it wasn't more and then, of course, here we go. Who are they going to take? Time going down. Pick is in. Cam Smith's corner out of South Carolina. And it wasn't a reaction of who the hell, what kind of, this player sucks. It was more of a corner, a defensive back, that's where the shock came in. And so then when you go to pick 84, and okay, Darnell's still on the board. Jones is still on the board. There's other players still on the board. You know, who are we going to get? And then you go Devon A-Chain. And you're like, oh, okay. And so, not that these are bad players. They're not. They're very good players. It's just the reactions to the picks, the initial picks around Dolphins fan base was, these weren't the guys we were thinking. And, you know, so again, I love what most people are saying. We said it on draft night for Dolphins draft night. I don't hate the players. I like the players. They're damn good football players. They might be damn good Dolphins as far as we know. I wasn't angry. I was shocked by the picks. Those weren't picks we were thinking. Yeah, corner was a speculation before Jalen Ramsey. After, it wasn't much. You know, it was tackle, tight end, linebacker, edge rusher, et cetera, et cetera. So those were the shocks. So I'm actually okay with my grade. I gave the grade because I still like the players, and I think, and this is the thing people are not, or I haven't seen brought up a lot. Jalen Ramsey, or even Cam Smith, but I think more Jalen Ramsey. We go, okay, damn, they're pretty stacked at corner right now. Well, what if Jalen Ramsey's not playing corner for the Dolphins? What if he's playing safety? If he's playing safety with Javon Holland, then Cam Smith is a pretty smart pickup. It makes sense at that point. So Cam Smith is your pick at 51. 84 is Davon Achane. Then we go round 6, Fish Tank, and that's Elijah Higgins out of Stanford, who a lot of people were, that's another one you shook your head at, you kind of scratch because it's a receiver. But then, no, wait a second. Look at his size, 6'3", 200 plus whatever pounds. Yeah. Then you start reading, go, oh, this is a tight end. This is a hybrid. Okay. And then you look at the 7th round pick, 238, which is Ryan.
I actually think let me throw something in on that Higgins, Elijah. Yeah. I really like the fact that they decided to go with him, because if he's able to do the blocks and do the blocking that they want, he's already got the tree route down from being a wide receiver. So he could be an instant plug in and play as long as he can block. So we might actually see him get some time in the beginning.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people were, again, because it said wide receiver, they were upset at that pick. And then they go, well, why are we not drafting a true tight end? There were true tight ends on the board. Zach Kuntz.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Kuntz was on there.
Here's the thing. Here's what I get that argument, because we needed a tight end, or we thought we needed a tight end. When it comes to 6th and 7th round picks, these are project picks. These are your practice squad type players. These are the players you draft later in the round, and you put their camp body, and you see you could get anything out of them. So I was never mad at those picks. And especially, then you go Ryan, the offensive tackle out of Michigan, 238. You go, oh, well, 238, who cares? The 7th round pick is mostly going to get cut. Maybe. But don't forget, 238 was Zach Sealer at one point for Baltimore. So we don't know how he might turn out. So I don't sleep on these picks, but I also don't, with the late round picks, I don't really pay too much mind to it, because they are project picks. I am intrigued by Elijah Higgins. I'm intrigued because of what I've seen. And
I don't know, Bobby. You keep saying that, but I don't know so much that he's going to be a project. He might be a starter.
Well, that would be a shock to me with Durham Smythe and the guy they signed from Denver. I think he could find some playing time, but I don't know. I think it's a little early to say he might be a starter. I know what you're saying. I know what you're coming from, just because off what you've seen. When you look at you look at highlights, you see the type of play he offers. There's potential there. There's potential. And I think that's what Mike McDaniel sees. I think that's what the Dolphins see. I love what I heard from him. I know he is ready. I love what I've heard from him. I'm excited for him. I'm intrigued by him. But it's just wait and see. I don't want to put him too high on a pedestal, just because we can't put those type of expectations on him.
Well, I'm not going to throw anybody up on a pedestal. I'm just saying, for me, I think it's possible the guy could definitely come out. And if I see him a lot in preseason, then I'm going to just be warming the hands up. You know what I mean?
I got you. So let me ask you this. So because we all had that same type of reaction on Dolphins draft night, which was the Friday and Saturday. And so, it's an instant reaction. You don't have really time to process anything or to think about it or look it up or whatever. So, we're not prisoners of that reaction. You have an initial reaction after a day or two or a week, or maybe you go, okay, maybe I still feel this way, or you know what, I've had time to think about it, and you know what, I could kind of see the logic, and I actually like it a lot better. What is after you had about a week and a couple days to digest, what is your grade currently, even though we got to wait a year or two out? You can't really grade a draft until you see how it plays out. But right now, your initial draft grade for the Dolphins, the 4 picks, not undrafted free agents. You're talking about Higgins. We're talking about the 7th, the offensive tackle. We're talking about, what is your grade?
I give him a B. Because I like the players. I was kind of leaning more toward a B-, But I really like some of the players that they got, especially Higgins. I really like him because I'm used to seeing people get tight ends, but they don't usually do too much in the beginning. And he is one of the prospects that I'm hoping, because I felt like Miami was picking for the future rather than now. And I think that's what surprised me was they made picks that are more future picks. In other words, are you going to use this cornerback right away? Probably not. I mean, you might. You never know. Like you said, if you move Jalen Ramsey to safety, then, of course, you're probably going to use him. So it's kind of a crapshoot, but at the same time, they drafted some quality players at the same time. You know what I mean, Bobby?
Absolutely. So I think B- or B, you said B. I think B- is fair. And I understand where you're coming from too. And again, if it's the idea is drafting Cam Smith to play him with Xavier Howard or as insurance for Xavier Howard as well, but then I move Ramsey to safety in the first year, that pick makes a lot more sense in the end. You know, it's not about who's the corner you're going to draft at that point. It's who you think fits best at that point. So then that makes sense.
Fins up, Troy.
Troy in the house.
Louisville.
Good to see you.
Or is that Louisville?
So for me, I don't think I'm too far. I'm not far off from you. And it's the same kind of reasoning, though. Again, this grade fluctuates because, again, you after a year or two out, you might go, you know what? Damn, they had a pretty damn good. Because the fact of the matter is, like Troy brings up, Austin Jackson, Ibanagli with Tua that year, we all thought, holy crap. And maybe we were blinded by the idea of drafting Tua. But you go, that was a damn good draft. They got the fastest corner. He's a track star. He could, Igbo, man, I can't wait to see what he can do. Austin Jackson, we got our guard, our tackle from USC. We got our quarterback of the future. This is an A-plus draft. Hence, 3 years later, going, well, holy crap. That wasn't an A-plus.
Yeah, that was a dumpster.
Yeah, and it's not a knock on the players. It's just the way it plays out. So right now, my initial grade is a C+. I don't hate the draft. I'm not going to go overboard with it. I'm actually okay because I could see where some of it makes sense. When you go A-Chain, there was other backs on the board that I would have preferred. However, fast as hell. And you know what's the key word, the key point to A-Chain? That's McDaniel's pick. That's why I like that pick. Because that's who McDaniel wanted. And so I get it. And I could see, damn, look at that speed off A-Chain. Imagine him with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. Imagine when Tua, he can't go over the top to Jalen or to Tyreek. There's your dump off right there. A-Chain, breaks free, touchdown. Whoever goes 5 yards for 20, which we talked about Tyreek and Jalen last year. That's what you get with A-Chain. Okay? So I get it. That what makes me Elijah Higgins, it's a project pick. I'm intrigued, though. I'm intrigued. And then
I'm very.
The tackle, it's another tackle. We don't know if he makes the team. But, again, I'm hoping on 238. That gave us Zach Sealer. Of course, he came from Baltimore. 238, this kid here out of Michigan. I'm excited. We'll see how that plays out. And any kind of help on the offensive line is going to be fine.
I think they would move him to guard anyway.
Yeah.
Because he gets beat more around the outside is what they say.
Ryan Hayes. So you have a B currently. You said you were leaning on B-, but you're going to stick with B. I got a C+. So, but I think
only because after I researched and I thought about what they did was they added speed, and speed. That's why I gave them a B, because the players that they selected and the capabilities that they might have on the field. I'm going with more the upside swing that I think that these players are going to be more successful than some in the past.
Gotcha. All right. So, of course, after the draft, when the final pick is made, you have Mr. Irrelevant is selected. The draft is not really over. It's over the picks, but then it continues an undrafted free agency. Okay.
And that's when it really starts.
That's when it really starts. That's when you're refreshing. That's when you're looking. You're trying to find out if you're a Dolphin fan, what Barry Jackson is saying, who did an awesome job. You're checking DolphinsThirsty.com to see where Rob is following up with. You're going there. You're trying to figure out what the Dolphins are doing, what free agents they are signing. So I don't have this list completely updated, but it's the gist of it, Fish Tank. The Dolphins.
Whoa.
There you go. These are their undrafted free agents, most of them at least, okay? Aubrey Miller was, I think, the first one signed. Jackson State linebacker. Let me ask you, Fishay. I don't know. Have you done any research on these guys yet?
I've done a little bit of research on these guys, yes.
Okay.
And I can tell you a
Okay,
few that I like.
Go for it.
I like Aubrey Miller.
Yes, sir.
He is a beast. I like Ezekiel Vandenberg also.
Yes.
I also like Julian Hill. That could be a big threat for people. We picked up a center, which is a true center, so I really like that. Again, we got another safety from Oregon. Last time we got Holland, so who knows? You never know what this safety could do. The defensive line, that's an okay pick. I like it. Chris Brooks, that's okay too. Let's see, who else? Who else did I like that stood out? Oh, Pili, Pili.
Yep.
I like him a lot.
So
I like him a lot.
Let me
say
my top three guys, and the three of them I think has a chance. I'm not saying maybe all three, but I think one of these, out of these three guys, one of them may make this roster. And that first comes up is Aubrey Miller. That's why he's pictured there. That dude is a mean green fighting machine at linebacker. Love this guy. Love what I've seen from him. Yeah, he's undrafted. We get it. But a lot of good guys fall undrafted to become good players. I think this guy has the capability to do it.
Do you remember when I did my mock draft and I selected a punter?
Yes, I see him there.
There he is.
I know. I know our friend Anthony Manzano is happy. He always fought or tried to get everyone to draft a punter. So Aubrey Miller is the first one. You know, I'm with you with Ezekiel Vanderbaugh, linebacker, Illinois State. He could play edge rusher. He looked another mean player. There's a lot of good ones here. I'm interested to see how it is with Jairus Hurst out of Michigan State. He's not one of my top three, though. My top three, my final one, who I think has the most likely chance to make this roster next to Aubrey, is Brandon Pili, defensive lineman out of USC.
Yeah.
The Dolphins need depth behind Raquan Davis. This guy, guy gives you this. And I think he has a strong chance to make this roster if, of course, he plays well during the offseason, in camp and in preseason. Go ahead, Fish Tank.
Yeah, for me, if you ask me to pick out 3 or 4, because I can't just pick 3, you got Miller, Vandenberg, Horst, and Pili, and Turk. I think all 5 of those have the possibility to make the squad.
Well, the only reason my only pushback on Turk is we got a Pro Bowl punter right now. We lost the punter, but we also signed a Pro Bowl punter. I think there's a kicker. I think they did sign. I'm not sure, but I can't see Jason Sanders being cut. But I know a lot of people like Michael Turk. His uncle, it was his uncle who played for the Dolphins at one point.
Matt.
Yeah, Matt Turk. But Pili, Miller, and Vanderbaugh are the 3 guys I think could make it. Hammer Time, thank you for tuning in. He says B- for the Dolphins. So he's right with you, Hank, almost. He says, I was more upset of who we didn't draft than excited about the ones that we did draft. Just saying, not bad at all. I think that's everybody. I mean, mostly everybody. I think that's fair. I think that's why people were it wasn't the players that we were upset with. It wasn't, even though Ted Ginn ended up being damn good and it's good for his career overall, better than Brady Quinn. It was like that draft. We were upset, like, whoa, how can you draft somebody else over, Ted Ginn, who? And ended up, of course, Ted Ginn did better. It wasn't that we were mad at the player. We were mad at the picks, because we had other people in mind for those picks. But again, as you do more research, as you watch these players, if you start to have it make sense in your head, like, okay, well, if Ramsey plays safety, or maybe Cam Smith helps at safety, okay, this makes sense at that pick. If A-Chain is McDaniel's pick, that helps with the running back situation. But we don't think we're done there. I don't think we're done there.
I don't think we're done at all.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. So, undrafted free, you got those 4 guys. I got those 3 guys. I actually.
Well, I had 5. I was cheating a little bit because I put Turk in there.
Yeah, you said I can't do 3. I'll do 4. And I heard you say 5. I'm like, oh, there's Fish Tank.
I had to put Turk in there, man. I'm rooting for him.
I got you, brother. It's all good. So listen, one of the main things, even though the Dolphins did draft an offensive lineman in the 7th round, it doesn't leave much comfort to Dolphin fans. They did address offensive line. They got Dan Feeney in free agency. Again, doesn't really give you any comfort. They're talking to Cam Fleming. But another intriguing name has come up for the Dolphins. All right, and that is former 3-time Pro Bowl left tackle Taylor Lewan from the Tennessee Titans. He said on Barstool, it was a tweet that came out. He was talking to another Dolphin fan, and Dolphin fans and he goes, "Will it make you feel better to let you know the Dolphins reached out to me?" Well, Barry Jackson came out and said the Dolphins did reach out to him about a month ago or before the draft or something like that, but they haven't talked to him really since. But his name keeps coming up. He plays left tackle. Supposedly, he does not want to play right tackle. If the Dolphins sign him as a left tackle, or if that's only what he wants to play, would you still want Miami to sign him, or would you rather focus on that right tackle spot?
I think you go for anything that's an upgrade available to the team to make the team better. And so would he make the team better by having him? Absolutely. You need somebody as a backup on that left side because we know Armstead is known for his injuries. So if that's the case, you'd have a quality backup, and he wouldn't be putting in that much time as a vet because he is, like 32, 33?
He is, and he was ranked 32 by Pro Football. I think his grade with Pro Football Focus was like 67. Pro Football Talk had him rated as a 32nd tackle in the NFL, dead last. So you're not getting him to be the starter. Your starting left tackle is Armstead. But he has injury issues as well. Very bad. That's why he got cut. A lot of Titan fans, He's a good player, but after a while, Titan fans said, man, he's cheating us out of money because he is always hurt. But if you sign him, and let's say you get him on a good deal as your backup left tackle, and you don't play right, you know what? Armstead goes down, God forbid. You got Lewan right there for a couple games. You don't need him for the full
exactly.
Game. So that's where I'm okay with it. But you need to address the right tackle spot, at least depth-wise. You need to get somebody who you trust to be your backup right tackle. If Austin Jackson is really your number one, named Father, Son, Holy Spirit, God help us all, then you need to get a veteran right tackle backup that when Jackson goes down, if he goes down, or he's terrible and he continues to be terrible, then you get a decent veteran back there because that is Tua's blind side. Back It Up Bench Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. He says, focus on both, right tackle and left tackle. Tua can get hurt from both sides, from the other side. Troy Jesse says, Fish Shank, defensive back Keydron Smith. He could be a surprise. I saw a lot of him terrorizing my Cardinals in Louisville. He's a big defensive back and very physical. He can cover too. I love it, Troy. I'm going to focus on him. I love big, strong defensive tackles. I'm going to check it out. I like Peely. I think we need a true nose tackle badly. That's why I like Peely, because of that. But yeah, Fishing, I'm with you. Peely. Makes a lot of sense because I go, man, my initial thought when I saw, and I'm, obviously I'm here in Tennessee, we didn't want to play right tackle, and people bring it up, and I was like, we don't need that. We need someone who could play right tackle. But it makes so much sense. You're absolutely right. If Armstead goes down, we could use that instead of going, okay, now put Eichenberg at left tackle. Oh gosh, would you rather have Eichenberg or Taylor Lewan for a couple games?
No kidding.
It's only a few games. I don't know, for a season, I'll be nervous. Okay.
No, I wouldn't want him for the whole season.
I'm good. Yeah, if the Dolphins can get him on a good contract, and again, when can this go down? People go, man, with what money? What are you talking about? How can we sign Taylor Lewan? What money do we have?
June 1st.
Right there. June 1st. So let's talk about that, Fish Tank.
Yes, sir.
After June 1st, Byron Jones' contract comes off the books. That will give Miami a little more leeway, a little more cushion for pushing that cap room. Okay?
That's right.
And what would you expect? Do you expect Miami to continue to build on this roster? Do you think that they're done? Or do you think, no, Bobby, they're not done? I expect some significant, not crazy moves, but I expect some significant signings or trades that can help uplift this roster? What do you think?
I have to agree with you. I think there's people out there that might get cut. Once they get their rookies in, you might have people that are being cut, released, whatever. People start to want to trade. Different things happen. I think Miami's not done, though. I don't think they're done by any long shot. Not Chris Greer. He wheels and deals till he can't wheel and deal anymore.
I have to say, so yeah, again, I don't know what happens with Taylor Lewan. I know that the Dolphins talked to him a month ago. They haven't reached out since, but they have worked out Cam Fleming. We know that's a possibility. That's a right tackle veteran. I don't know. I know a lot of people go, oh, he'll save the roster. Look, he's a depth. He's not really, if in regards of players, he's not Taylor Lewan at left tackle. Lewan is a better player at his position than Fleming is at right tackle. So I think it's a depth signing, but I'm okay with depth signing for the offensive line. I think that's important. I don't think the Dalvin Cook deal is dead. It's dead after June 1st if they don't do it. What's up, Cat?
Fins up, Cap.
Hope you had a great Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
He said Cinco de Drinko.
That's right. So, but I think, again, June 1st.
I went Cinco de Grino.
Yeah, I know you. That's every day for you. I would not sleep. Again, Dalvin Cook, I think it's still a very big possibility, even with A-Chain being drafted. Jeff Wilson is the more, I know people say, oh, Gaskin. Yeah, we know that. Gaskin is a camp body right now, and I appreciate everything he's done. I don't see him making this roster either way. If Dolphins do acquire Dalvin Cook, I believe, and there's some kind of rumor out there from Minnesota, and either somebody else from over in this side brought it up as well, or could kind of said, yeah, that's a real possibility, or that's a strong, is that there's a trade on the table, Dalvin Cook for a 5th-round pick next year, supposedly. We'll see if that comes into play, but I think it is in play that he could be a Dolphin. If he's a Dolphin, who's the odd man out, Fish Tank? I believe it's Jeff Wilson. Why? Wilson is a $2.2 million cap hit right now. After June 1st, a month from now, you cut him or trade him, $785,000. Okay, that's nothing. So even 2.2 is not that bad. But I think that's the odd man out if we get Dalvin Cook. Again, Cam Fleming could be a possible. So I don't know. So you got Cam Fleming, you got Dalvin Cook. Those are your two more than likely. Keep an eye out on Christian Wilkins. What happens with that? Supposedly, I think Rosenhaus. I think I saw something with Rosenhaus. I don't want to put words in my mouth. So, but what I saw was that it was said that if the Dolphins reach an impasse with Christian Wilkins, especially after the Giants re-signed Lawrence, I believe it was Lawrence, they might reach an impasse because they don't want to pay that much for Christian Wilkins, who's more of a run stopper than he is a pass rusher, et cetera, et cetera. Even though I think he's the heart of the team, they might go ahead and say, okay, no, we're going to go ahead and re-sign, extend, and kind of free up some cap. We'll move Wilkins, extend Sealer, extend our center, Connor Williams. I would hate to lose Christian Wilkins, but I would love if we extended Sealer and Williams. Williams did very good for us last year, and Sealer has been very good as well. And it's going to be a cheaper deal, obviously. What are your thoughts? If the Dolphins ended up moving Christian Wilkins but extended Sealer and Williams, or Connor Williams, our center, how would you feel, Fish Tank, as a Dolphins fan?
I'd feel good. Fins up, Adam.
What's up, Adam?
I'd feel good about if they sign him. I want them to keep Wilkins. I'm all over that.
If they re-sign Wilkins today, extended, I'll be happy. I love Wilkins. Obviously I don't want to rip the bank. I don't think he's a break the bank type of player, but give him what he's worth and keep him on your roster. I think he's a bigger help than he is losing him. But
I don't think he would make Miami break the bank, is my point. I think if he took a deal that was friendly for him and the Miami Dolphins, then it would work out. But if he wants big bank money, I don't know that Miami will play that. And that's only based on like what you said. I love the guy. I'd love to see him stay. But like you said, he's a run stopper. He's not necessarily getting after the quarterback. He's not necessarily, doing a lot of other things that some other players can do if you're going to pay big money. So it's a hard decision.
Yeah, you see, first off, let me go ahead and Adam, Thank you for tuning in, brother. Always. St. Michael, thank you for tuning in, man. I think it's the
St.
first time you
Michael,
have.
fins up.
Appreciate you. Smash that like and subscribe button, brother. Appreciate you. He says, hey, trading Wilkins is a classic Greer move. He loves trading away our best players for draft picks that he'll blow. You know what? I get what you're saying. But if we lose Wilkins, if we're going to lose Wilkins, I don't want to lose him for nothing. I don't want to Mike Gesicki. I don't want to lose him for nothing. Trade him. If he's not going to extend him, if you're not going to extend him, move him now. If you can get a good deal, keep him. Do everything you can to keep him, except for breaking the bank, in which Hank says he doesn't believe Wilkins is. And Wilkins is not only a good player or he's a great Dolphin, first of all, but he's a good team guy. So I'm all about keeping him. I love his energy. I think he brings a lot of energy to this football team besides just great play. But he's obviously not a break the bank type player. But don't lose him for nothing. And I get it. Troy, I'm getting nervous about Wilkins. I am too. I thought this deal would be done by now. That's what I'm saying. If we're going to end up losing him, don't pull a Gesicki. Just move him. Just move him now. Get a draft pick for next season, a couple draft picks. Save up that cap. I want him to stay too, but I don't want to lose him for now. Right on, Bobby. Got to be worth it. Absolutely. I want Wilkins because stopping the run is the worst part of – absolutely. He's a run stopper. He's not a pass rusher, but absolutely. It's so important because, once they get past to that second level, unless our linebackers get better there, it's going to be danger. It's going to be danger. Everybody, let me just say thank you all for tuning in. It's Finstock today on the Finstock Sports Network. That's Fish Tank Hank. I'm Bobby Finstock. We got great Dolphins content here. We're always on. We've been on for a while now. We've been having a blast. Appreciate you all tuning in. Do you guys have any topics you want to talk about? Anything on your mind? What are your thoughts about the Miami Dolphins draft class or their undrafted free agents? Is there any move that you think Miami could do that no one's talking about? Please put your comments below.
Bobby, you're making good points today. I don't even have any arguments with you.
Thank you. I was like, how can I make Hank happy today? How do I not get him to call me crazy or go off on me? I said, let's get some good. One thing
that takes away from my fun.
I would do this, but I didn't check with Hank the next time. But maybe next time. Well, not this week, next week or the week after, because we're going to have 2 guests on, which I'm very excited about. But maybe the week after, what we're going to start doing, because Hank and I are usually on about 30, 45 minutes. We don't like to keep too much. We don't keep you. We talk Dolphins, and we move forward. But I think Hank would like it. I'm not going to do it today because I didn't talk with him beforehand. But I'm going to open up, get a couple people in here. Well, so I'm going to throw down the link so people come on, give your thoughts on the Dolphins with us. We're almost to the season. Okay, yes, there's playoff basketball. Heat play tonight. Okay, you got the Panthers because I see Adam with the Panthers logo. Holy crap, the Panthers are up 2-0 against Toronto. Awesome. But the Dolphins football, which is the most important thing, is right around the corner. We're about 3 months away from the preseason. Hank and I, we are on every Saturday. We've been on every Saturday for a while now. We don't take breaks. We're not, there's no content. There's nothing to talk about. No, there's always something to talk about.
There's always something going on.
Yes, there's always some kind of arguments or something. That's what we do. Hank and I are fans first, just like the rest of you. And that's what I'm saying. If you have a conversation or something you want to talk about, let us know. Let's talk about it. St. Michael says, you franchise Wilkins for a few years if you can't get a long-term deal, and then let him go. Do you really trust Greer to draft players after the Austin Jackson, Noah Benagany, and Eichenberg picks? Great point. Look, I'm not one to defend Chris Greer, okay?
I'm not a Chris Greer defender. So.
Yeah, I'm not one to defend Chris Greer. However, St. Michael, or Michael, I will say is that he did draft Javon Holland and Jalen Phillips. Now, let me preface that for a second because I see a lot of people going with late-round picks, mid-round picks, and I'm saying that now. What's true is this. When you look at players like a Ryan Hayes or Elijah Higgins, that's not Chris Greer going, let's get that guy. I've been watching this kid. I think that kid's going to be a star. No. That's your scouting department. That's a Dolphins scouting department. Those are those type of picks. So those type of picks, I don't want to hear anything about that. Yeah, he has to make the five. Or even undrafted free agents. That's not Chris Greer. I mean, he maybe a couple guys, but really that's a scout in our department. Scouts in our department say, hey, let's go after this kid. And then the Dolphins have to make that deal. The Dolphins have to go out, one of the scouts or whatever say, hey, man, we want to sign you. Chris Greer comes in. Okay, let's get this deal. Guaranteed contract. Bam, done. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm with you. And let me just tell you where I am, Michael. Just so you see, I've had people tell me last year, Bobby, are you, after they traded for Bradley Chubb, are you ready to apologize to Chris Greer? Are you ready to say you want to? And I don't. Hank might remember this. Hank didn't tell me this, even though Hank and I have argued before about it. But Hank wasn't the one because Hank was with me on it. But I have said, why would I apologize? Is the job finished? Is the job done? Did we win a playoff game? Have we won a championship? No, the job's not finished. He has failed on a lot of draft picks. He also drafted like people. Oh, what about the trades? Trading for Bradley Chubb and trading for Tyreek Hill and signing Armstead and doing this. It's very easy to trade for star players when you got draft picks and an owner with an open pocketbook. It's very easy to trade for a player like Tyreek Hill when he wants to come to Miami. He picks Miami over New York. It's very easy to do that. When it becomes harder is drafting players.
Hey.
Like drafting Noah Ibenagany over Jonathan Taylor at running back. It's hard. So that's all. So that's how I think of it. You know what?
It's tough.
I'm a little nice.
That's a tough sandwich to chew on with no mayonnaise, no nothing. It's all dry. You know what I mean? It's nasty.
I got you.
Hey, let me bring something even nastier in on our show today. All right?
Oh, no, okay.
You got the Jets and the Bills and the Dolphins. Bobby, this is like the 1980s. If these teams play half as much as those teams did, and they're going to play twice as much. And that's the funny part, because you have more open offense than you did back in the day. I think there's going to be some spectacularly big games coming out in our division with our division rivals. Not so much the Patriots, but the Bills and the Jets especially, have stacked up. And when I talk online, people always dog on me because I say that, about the Jets. But, hey, folks, take a look at what they've actually done. And I'm not talking so much Aaron Rodgers either. I'm talking their defense. Their defense is stout. So, I think we're going to have some challenges ahead of us.
You know what? You're not wrong. I agree with you. I think people that say things like, and I won't name names, but if he's watching, he knows I'm talking about him. But, like people say, the Buffalo Bills, they're going to fall off. The Jets, I'm not worried about them. They're going to implode. Oh, the Patriots, first off, the Patriots are still the Patriots. Without Tom Brady, they still have Bill Belichick. They're going to put a fight every game. Okay? They might not win, but it's going to be a tough game. Dolphins can't sleep on the Patriots. They need to do the job and get it done. The Jets, we talked about it last year, Hank, when they were a laughingstock in free agency because Tyreek chose the Dolphins over them, and they couldn't get the trade, and then they couldn't really do anything in free agency. They killed it in the draft. They did a great job in the draft. This year was a little more question marks. We'll see. With Will McDonald in the first round. But Aaron Rodgers, they got Aaron Rodgers. They're going to be a tough sell. They're going to be a tough team to beat 2 times in a row. Okay? And then, of course, the Buffalo Bills. They got Dalton Kincaid now. That's another weapon for Josh Allen. He's not a blocker. I didn't want him for the Dolphins because he can't block, but damn, he's a great pass catcher. He's a weapon. And that's what Stephon Diggs and those guys don't sleep. Nope, you shouldn't sleep on the Buffalo Bills whatsoever. Do I think the Dolphins are going to be the bottom of the pecking order? Hell no. I think the Dolphins are going to be fighting for that number 1 spot, but I think it will be a fight. And
if you ask me right now, Bobby, I think all 3 are even.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think
as far as talent-wise goes, I think all 3 teams are even, but I think the Bills and the Dolphins have a slight edge over the Jets. And the reason why is because they've been more consistent with their players.
Yeah. And let me just say this, because what Michael just said on the bottom, we now have to buy players instead of building through the draft. That means our window to win a Super Bowl is significantly reduced. Yes. The window is small. I've seen people say a 3-year window. I don't think it's a 3-year window. I think it's a 2 to 1 year window. And it really revolves around Tyreek Hill. Yes, he has a 3-year contract, but we lose receivers after 2 seasons. He's played a year with us. That's why we are a buy now team. I agree. I love building through the draft, but we're not a build through the draft team, especially when you only have 4 picks.
Steve, you're right. Fins up. They better not sleep on us.
Steve Malloy, my brother. Also a Golden Hawk Miami Springs Golden Hawk, went to the same high school, not at the same time, obviously, but we did go from the same high school. We're Golden Hawks. But yeah, don't sleep on the Dolphins. Teams are better, but not sleep on the Dolphins. But yeah, the window is significantly smaller. That's why Miami is a buy now team. There's no real point unless you can get a player, an impact player, which the Dolphins, again, we don't know if they did. That's why I was a little shocked. When you get a Darnell Washington, you go Cam Smith. I'm a little surprised by that pick, but not hating on the player, hating on the pick. It is what it is. Miami is a buy now team. And again, Tua has a couple year window. Tua's on you hit his option. You have to see how he does. They built around him. He has a team around him. You can still have a question on the offensive line, but it's not an excuse. Yeah. There's no excuses.
This whole Tua hurt all the time. Everybody just keeps assuming he's going to be hurt. You know what, folks? Players get hurt. He's been hurt through his career. We know that any quarterback can get hurt for 1 or 2 games in a season. That's not out of the question. But the question is he going to have concussions? That's the question. Now, if he has concussions, then we have a problem. If he doesn't have concussions, we don't have a problem.
Yeah. The two are hurt subjects that have come up a lot. And I know I had a debate with Evan and Alex on East 10th Street Boys about it. Because
I don't debate it, Bobby. You know why?
Yeah.
It's simple. The guy's going to be there on Sunday, and if he's not, there's 2 backups.
It's true. Well,
that's the way it works, folks. The way it works for every player out there.
There's 2 backups currently on the roster, and there's one sitting in his retirement home right now, waiting. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying. If he's hurt for a certain amount of time, that phone will ring, and it won't be Mike White or Skylar Thompson. All I'm saying.
Oh, stop. He ain't going to unretire.
I'm just saying. Don't sleep on it, Fish Tank.
Trying to pull that out there.
I'm just saying, Fish Tank.
And it's not going to happen. We don't need Shady.
Let me just say, Michael says, we're the best. They're the 3rd best team in the AFC East this year. Why? You have to assume Tua and Armstead are going to miss a combined 8 games at minimum. Our chance of winning those games is not very good.
I don't believe that.
I think Hank and I have talked about this. It's not a matter of when. Now, this is the thing. It's not about concussions or what type of injury. Players get hurt all the time. I agree with that. The difference is significant injuries that will cost you games during the season, which I saw that at the intro, Fish. You were putting the camera. Great card. If it's significant injury enough for you to miss games. To me, with Tua, because he's missed a game every year since college, I want to say high school. I don't have the list for that. I have looked at it. It's not a matter of when, it's a matter of if. And it's not a matter of how, and not a matter of full season, it's how many. So Hank, last year, he only played 13 games last season. The year before that, he only played 13 games. I don't count his rookie season when she only played 9 games because it was in
same as Jackson, though, but nobody points that out. Same as Jackson, who just got his $250 million. Yeah.
What? They both played 13 games in 2 years?
Last year.
And what about the year before that?
Year before that, I think combined, Jackson's real close. I don't remember what he was the year before that, but he was out too.
So, see, now you're doing that, and so I have to verify because I hate to even though it's 2 different beasts here. But anyway, again, and like I've said this to Evan 1,000 times. I don't care about everybody else's quarterback. I only care about ours. He doesn't.
No, I only care about mine.
Yeah. So,
but I'm just saying.
I hear you. So
Jackson has been out toward the end of the season the past 2 seasons.
And you know what? He has. And this is the thing. And again, I never wanted Jackson. I know people on this network wanted Jackson. I never did.
I didn't want Jackson. I love Jackson and the things he can do. But you know what? That Baltimore team is built for Jackson. It's just that simple. And he knew it. He said it himself. He loves the fans. He loves the players he plays with. And, that team is totally built for him. Miami Dolphins are not built for Jackson.
But let me tell you this. You ready? You ready for some validation?
Okay.
When someone says something about Lamar Jackson to you with the Dolphins, which they shouldn't anymore, he's extended. He played 12 games last year.
Yeah.
1 less than Tua. You ready for 2021?
Yeah.
12 games.
Told you.
There you go. So that's Lamar Jackson. So if somebody brings up Lamar Jackson, there you go, guys. That's 24 games in 2 seasons.
He's missed more than Tua has the past 2 seasons.
But I agree with Steve. I don't care about them. And I don't mean this against you, Hank. I'm just saying in general.
I'm just saying, though. I
get what you're saying.
I don't care about him. I'm just comparing because everybody's always comparing Tua to this person and that person.
Yeah.
And if Tua wasn't hurt this and if Tua wasn't hurt that, well, they just paid the guy $250 million that is injured more than Tua. And he has his accuracy isn't even as close to Tua, but he's got a bigger game for bigger things with Baltimore.
True, absolutely. Heisman Trophy winner, 2-time MVP. I mean, 2-time Pro Bowler, MVP in 2019. You don't want to lose players like that, especially when you make runs. But anyway, again, I'm just saying, Lamar Jackson. He first off, for Dolphin fans, he's not on the books anymore. He's with Baltimore for a while, so let's cut that dream out. I never was a part of the team. Fish Tank wasn't.
No.
Again, I'm not worried about him. I'm not a fan of Lamar Jackson. He's not worth the contract. I agree with Hank. No, he's not worth. I agree with you. If this was Lamar Jackson on the Dolphins and he only played 12 games in 2 seasons, I don't want that damn deal being done. I'd be pissed if I was a Baltimore fan. I'd be pissed. So it is what it is. Anyway, we're on to Tua. It's significant. What I was going back to Tua very quick, Fish Tank, is that it's not about how many games he's going to miss, or excuse me, it's not about getting injured or it's about how many games he's going to miss during the season. And we know that he's missed 13 games, 13 games. He played 13 games last year. He played 13 games the year before. Okay. Over, under 13 games.
He's going to be over.
Over. I'm with you. I think it's be over. I think he's committed to be over.
I think he's going to come in and he's going to play the whole season.
Gosh. I mean, that would be the hope, right?
I think that's what's going to happen.
I think that's his goal. Obviously, it's a goal for every player, but I think he is determined to do that. He knows the stigma that's following him.
He knows if he doesn't get out and stick it out this time, that he's probably gone the following.
My hope would be
years.
After this season, we're not questioning the health. We're questioning the play. And we're not questioning the play. I don't want to question the play, but we're going, okay, did he perform? Did he win us games in the end? Did he lead us to the playoffs? Did he play in the playoffs? And how did he do? That's what I want. I don't want to be like, well, he missed 6 games this year.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping. Now, I'm going to say over. I'm not going to say full season. I'm going to say I'll say 15 games. That's where I'm at. Over 15 games.
Yeah, because you're thinking he could hurt a pinky or get his foot stepped on or something like that, just like any other quarterback.
Or, let's say miss a game for an injury and miss a game because the Dolphins are the number 1 in the AFC and they're going to take a bye week and he's not going to play. Why would you risk him in the final game of the season? Let the other guy play. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what I'm saying.
I didn't even. Whoa, you took the high road that time.
Maybe that's what I'm saying. I don't know. You're just the negative. You think the negative. I'm trying to be. No, I'm just kidding. So
I picked the negative.
I'm just playing. But again, it's going to be very interesting. Again, we'll see. I think AJ. It's not like with Channing Tindall and Eazy-E that these guys aren't going to see the field. That's the difference with this draft class this year. I think you're going to see Cam Smith and Devin A-Chain get playing time this year. Maybe not a lot.
I think Higgins will too.
Hey, I'm excited to see Higgins during the preseason. Hopefully he has an easy type preseason.
What is it? Horst? H-O-R-S-T? Horst?
Hurst. H-O-R-S-T, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michigan
you
State.
Say Hurst? All right. Hurst. He is a guy I'm going to watch. I'm hoping that he does something because he is mean and nasty.
Yeah. And Aubrey Miller, again, another one. This is there is no reason why we are not Super Bowl contenders. If Tua could stay healthy long enough to go past that 8-3 spot, play well in December, that's the test this year. Again, we talk obviously injuries. For me, I'm watching December. I'm watching those games that matter. 8-3 was very nice, but we could have missed the playoffs if the Patriots did not lose that game. I want to see that it's a definitive playoff entry, that there's no talk that, because maybe Tua struggled for 5 years out. I don't want to hear any of that. That's the test for Tua this year. Injuries, that's there, but I'm more worried about how he plays in December. Okay. If he plays into December plays well into December and we go to play, if he plays well, we got a healthy team. Not everybody's healthy. I don't want to say that, but our main guns are there. There's no reason why the Dolphins can't be looked at Super Bowl contenders. The Dolphins have a very damn talented team. But to Hank's point, You can't sleep on the AFC East. If anything's the Achilles heel, could be that. If anything could derail Miami's season, it's the AFC East. It's a strong.
We have got to win those interdivision games. We have to.
The team more than likely to implode is the Jets. The Jets have the formula to implode right now. They look very good on paper, but if they struggle for a few games or they open up the season bad, they're going to be on the national spotlight. Coaches are going to get fired. General managers are going to get fired.
I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think the Bills are going to take a dip.
I don't know. The Bills, the only reason why I won't say the Bills is just because, first off, they've gotten better. In my opinion, they've gotten better, especially with Kincaid. But also, they have consistency, like the Dolphins. This is the second year the Dolphins have the same coach, the same players, the same center, quarterback, etc. I can see
we don't have the same defensive scheme, though.
No, that's going to be and how does that grow?
He has new wrinkles, he said, remember?
That's right. So what I'm saying is that I don't see Buffalo taking – I see Buffalo maybe match – I think Miami gets higher. Buffalo might stay the same. I don't see Buffalo taking a step back. I see Buffalo staying the same, but I see Miami kind of balance it out. Yes, the Jets are right there. Can't say they're not. Like you said, it's a balanced field. But the reason why I said the Jets take more of a dive or they could implode is because they have higher expectations for everybody. They're going to be on more primetime games than Aaron Rodgers. We know that. Okay, any kind of struggle, it's all in the New York media. Salah, the head coach, is a good coach. He's going to get fired.
All right.
Joe Douglas is going to get fired. That's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to go back into his cave. I'm telling you.
Let me ask you a question then.
Go ahead.
Because something comes to mind while you were talking about that. How many primetime games will Miami be in this season? I already held up my number while you were thinking.
I would tell you I didn't see it. So the number that keeps coming to my head, I want to say 3, but my number keeps coming to my head is 2. I want to say 3, but it's 2. I don't know about that. I hope so. I don't know about that.
5.
I think the Jets are going to be like 5 or 6. They're going to be a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Us with the Jets, us with the Bills, us with the Chiefs. I mean, we got a lot of teams. Us with the Chargers. I mean, there's a lot of teams.
So that's fair. I mean, if you're talking about the other teams, that's cool. I'll say my
Philly,
highest.
Baltimore. I mean,
Michael says our schedule is brutal this year. We have to play KC, which you just said, Baltimore, LA Chargers. We have no margin for error. Good afternoon, Fish Tank. Good afternoon, Bobby. Dan Marino hater. I'm not a Dan Marino hater. There's the picture right there. You just say I'm a hater because I said D Wade over Marino as Miami GOAT, but that's just Miami sports. I'm not a Marino hater. I love Marino. I have his jersey signed on both sides.
Fins up, everybody.
But what's up, G-Man? Always great to see you. Steve says defense could make a big difference this year. Absolutely. King Short, good to see you, brother. Fins up. Hammer Time Super Bowl is seriously in our future. More in our future, more now than ever. I like that the Jets did what they did because it takes the pressure off Miami. Let them sleep. Let them sleep on us. Let it be. No, all I care about is December.
I don't care. Either way, I'm almost on the home side down in the end zone, all right?
Wingate, good to see you, brother. He goes, how about them Cowboys?
I am so sick about hearing about the dang Cowboys when they haven't done stinky-dinks.
Stuff, yeah. Not good. Super Bowls, make playoff. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. That's where my goal is, honestly. I see people talking Super Bowl, and I get it. Okay, I get excited too looking at this roster overall. But I'm with you. Just like last year, Fish Tank and I both said, give me at least a playoff win. I want one. I mean, I want it all. Obviously, but my goal is a playoff win this season.
My minimum
not a playoff game.
My minimum expectation, what I expect is a championship. I expect a division win and at least an AFC championship. That's what I want.
Janice, good to see you. Fins up. She says special teams need to turn up this year. King Short, I want to ride. Okay.
They brought people in for special teams.
They did.
We've been talking about the punter, Turk.
Well, they can't be as bad as what they were last year. So the only way is up for them. G-Man says, guys, the season outcome is simple. Big if If Tua, Armstead, David Long, and 2 receivers stay healthy, the Dolphins are going deep in the playoffs. That's it. Love your line of thinking. Dallas is loaded with talent, but they're missing that it factor. Talking Cowboys, Wingate's in the comments, host of the Beer and Sports podcast on the Fins Talk Sports Network. But yeah, Fish Tank, we are at the 55-minute mark, sir. We're having fun. We're rolling. Next week, we have a special guest, Jason Sarney, which is pretty cool. I'm excited about having him.
I'm excited.
Love it.
I'm excited because we don't have a lot of guests on here.
No.
And I like the fact that we keep it to a minimum because that gives me more time to butcher at you.
That's correct. But I thought it would be nice to get some guests in here. I know you'd been talking about it, and we did. Got Sarney for next week. And
awesome. Love Sarney. He does a lot of good work on Twitter.
He's a great guy. And then after that, we got both guys we're going to have are very positive, good dudes. I was able to hang out with them a little bit, Hank, during the draft and draft coverage with Jason Sarney. The night that I took a break from the network just for a second for about 45 minutes. Hung out with Sarney, unbelievable guy with Steven Daniels. And then the Monday this week, I actually hung out with Nando from Clock Blockers with Steven Daniels. Unbelievably positive, good, kind-hearted dude. I said, hey, I actually sent a message. I said, hey, would you be interested in coming to Fins Talk today with Fish Tank and myself to talk Dolphins? He messaged me this morning. He is absolutely on board. So we're going to get him the weekend after Nando and Nando Talk and Clock Blocker.
So 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks. I'm not done yet. No, but anyway, David Long, G-Man, I'm with you, man. I hope David Long can play a majority of the games this season because I'm very excited about to see how he plays on this team in this defense. Troy Jesse says, I agree, Hank. Anything less and the rebuild is a failure. I predicted a Dolphins Super Bowl win ever since 1983. I'm not changing. Okay, Michael. Can't wait to take over the AFC East. So Hank and I are in agreement. It's pretty balanced right now at the start of the year. Before the year starts, it's not finished yet. There's still a lot of moves to be made, I think. But right now, it's an even playing field between the Buffalo Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets. I think the Jets are more than likely to implode how they're built. Because once you get in that he is a great dude, great guy, Steve, King Short. But once
Bobby, I know you're standing on that, and I need to make sure that I represent and say it's going to be the Bills that are going to be the one falling short. It's going to be the Dolphins, the Jets, the Bills, the Patriots.
Wow. I hope you're right. If the Bills take a whole nosedive, there is no doubt in my mind.
I don't know that they'll take a nosedive, but I don't think that they're going to beat the Jets or the Dolphins this year.
So
as far as for the division, they're not going to be ahead of them. No.
I think it could be if the Dolphins get number one. I can't see if it's between the Dolphins and the Bills who's the number one team in the AFC.
I'm more concerned about Miami playing the Jets than I am about Miami playing the Bills.
Okay, that's fair. G-Man says the most important aspect of this team are the team doctors and trainers. A healthy Dolphins team in December is going to be very dangerous. That's what I've been saying. G-Man's absolutely right. In regards to December, that's what I'm watching. How did this team perform in December? How's our health? How are they at? Can't agree more with the G-Man there. Michael says, we're in big trouble if Buffalo gets Dalvin Cook. That's a hot rumor right now. The rumor is after June 1st is Dolphins and Dalvin Cook. Don't sleep on that. Fire Sean McDermott. I wish. By the way, I love doing Wade, but I've never seen Wade play like Jimmy Buckets. G-Man, let me just say, brother, that's a whole conversation. That was on East 10th Street Boys, and it was a fun conversation. It was so much fun. And G-Man, I thank him all the time because he always watches and he's always commenting. And that's one of the biggest things. I love it. But man, I mean, just saying,
fins up, G-Man.
And forgive, man. Unless Fish Tank has an opinion on it, I know, I don't know where he is in other sports, but you see the Heat sign there. Let me just say, Jimmy Butler. Very quick, Fish Tank. Forgive me. This is Heat, Miami Heat. Nobody's playing better than Jimmy Butler right now in the playoffs. I said this to Alex, G-Man, when we were talking, when we asked about the season, the postseason. I asked him, what do you think? How do you think the Heat are going to do? I said, let me tell you something. Don't sleep on the Heat in the playoffs. The Heat are a better playoff team than they are a regular season team. Jimmy Butler's a different beast. And lo and freaking behold, man, Jimmy Butler is a beast. And if he wins a championship in Miami, there's a conversation to be had. There's a debate to be had. I don't know where I stand on it, but he's definitely one of the GOATs, and he hasn't even won a championship yet. I'm talking about in regards to the Heat. So great, 56 points. Great point. Fish Tank, you watch basketball?
Oh, I used to watch basketball many years ago. There was this guy who's kind of unique called Michael Jordan. And when he played, I watched.
There you go.
He was done. I was done watching.
There you go. Wade filled the stat sheet. He did everything.
I wasn't going to see anybody better than Jordan play on the court, so why bother watching?
I got you. And was that an email? My thing beeped. Was that an email? But anyway, I can't wait. The Heat play today at 2:00, I believe, or 3:00 Eastern. Wade was a great blocker. He blocked more shots than any guard, and he played put the greatest finals performance than Michael Jordan with Michael Jordan. There was no greater finals performance than Michael Jordan with D Wade in 2006. But this is Fins Talk. We're having a blast, so we talk everything here. Fish Tank and I, no topic is off the table. Fish Tank.
I don't know. There's a couple that we kind of keep friendly here.
That's true. There are some topics we have off the table. Fish Tank, we're having a lot of fun, my man. But any final thoughts for today?
Yeah, I really think the Dolphins are going to go far, and the teams that I'm most concerned with are the ones in our own division. I actually think we can take on these other teams that are out there, like the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, watch when that game comes. Wait for my prediction on that one.
Let me just answer this very quick. I see G-Man asked the question. Forgive me, G-Man. Let me go back there for a second. G-Man says, "Are you guys still worried about the O-line?" I am. Yeah, I am. I mean, you could say trust our coaching staff, etc. And I'm with that. I get that point. Okay, but we signed Dan Feeney. We drafted Ryan Hayes. We signed undrafted free agent Hurst out of Michigan State. The Dolphins didn't really do much in regards of offensive line, but they've been saying that at the beginning of the season, offseason, that they believe in Eichenberg. They believe in Austin Jackson, even though that's crazy to say. That's what they believe. And so far, they've lived by that. Crazy.
We could have put one of them orange cones and it would have blocked better than Eichenberg was doing.
Absolutely. So are we still worried? I think I speak for both of us when I say, yeah, we are.
I have concerns, but I'm not worried. How's that?
Well, okay. Then Hank is concerned.
I have concerns at right tackle and left guard.
Yeah.
Now, did they fill those obligations with their draft and undrafted free agents? That's yet to be seen. And they might even pull somebody in after people release June 1st.
Yeah. So it's just a wait and see. I mean, but I'm with you, G-Man. I mean, how could you?
I'm concerned they didn't do more, yes.
Yeah, I don't trust the offensive line. I have to see it to believe it. They did improve a little bit last year. If you look at rankings, I did see some improvement last year. When I'm watching them, there are some things that I get worried about. But I am worried. I am concerned. King Short says Cook is going to look good in aqua and orange. You better damn believe it. All right. So, guys, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. Again, next week, join us here on the Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Net. We're going to have Jason Sarney joining us. Cannot wait. If you want.
And what time do we start, Bobby?
We start at 12 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. It's going to be great. Tomorrow, we got Once Upon a Sunday. If you play fantasy football, the draft just occurred. Don't forget to tune in. Josh Kimmel and Dirtbag Dave or whatever, Viking Dave. Great dudes, great content on there. Monday night, East 10th Street Boys. We got a whole slew of great shows on the Fins Talk Sports Network. So tune on in. We appreciate you. As always, Fish Tank.
Yes,
for
sir.
Everyone out there, like, subscribe. Most importantly, Dolphin fans, fins up.
Fins up.